Play highlights for Vic Super. Vic Super's conscious investment option. Super that makes a difference.
Green picks it up. First Anzac Day for him. First Anzac Day goal for him.
Elliott fights on for it, and a little kick out of midair is a magical goal. Daniel Wells closes to 40. Phil Manassa style from that angle, 45 degrees. Daniel Wells kicks the goal to give Collingwood the lead. He screws around in the goal square. Darcy Moore bangs it through, and Collingwood are in front.
To Danaher in the middle, and he blasts one from 80. It might go all the way. Bombers back in front.
Back heel from the goal.
It's not about you today.
Still can't believe that one goal to you.
That's one of the great commentary moments of all time. Kicks around the body, hoping for Fantasia. Varco, Fantasia, Varco, Fantasia. Brilliant goal. Three-quarter time, MCG, Essendon lead. 11-9, 75 to 9-12, 66, 9-point margin. After they did lead by 20, and Collingwood also took the lead. Tony Shaw, Matthew Lloyd, and also some numbers for the Southern Star group at windowsanddoors.build from Daniel Harford.
Time in forward half in that quarter from the Magpies was really impressive, 60% to 40%. In the last 10 minutes, it was an emphatic performance by the Magpies and didn't hit the scoreboard, as you guys have been talking about. 8-1 inside forward 50s for the Magpies, which gave them the looks. 14-6 in contested possessions. If we go for the quarter overall, there wasn't too much differential between many of the stats. I think the Pies had 4 more clearances for the quarter. But what we did notice, Shaw, and you were talking about this at half-time, was the kick-to-handball ratio of the Magpies was very, very different. At half-time, it was 98 kicks to 99 handballs, and we were critical of that. They handballed too often. In the third quarter, they changed their dynamic totally. We saw a totally different result from them. They ended up getting 60 kicks to 36 handballs. Yeah, so much more direct footy.
Amazing, isn't it? I cannot pick this as in the momentum switches, especially in the last 10 minutes of each quarter. The last 2 quarters have been Collingwood's way. But again, it gets down in the midfield and how clean you are. The Pies wouldn't have wanted to allow the Essendon to start how they have in the first 3 quarters. Each time they've jumped out of the blocks, they've got clean ball movement, and it's been able to be into a very open forward line. I'm just looking now, Cale Hooker's gone to full forward. Joe Danaher's down there in all their smalls. So they've gone pretty small. +8, they've got a +1 there, which is Travis Varco.
I think what's happened here, Shaw, is Tip and Woody did it at the start of the third quarter. Fantasia's getting ready to charge off the back of the square. A lot like Eddie Betts and Charlie Cameron does. And then he'll go into the forward line.
1 quarter left on 3W Anzac Day football at the MCG. Full house, rain stopped, sun shining, lights are on. Here's Bruce Eva on 3W football.
Last quarter for KFC. Umpire Margetts throws it skyward. Grundy wins the tap. Heppel runs onto it though. Got a handball to Fantasia. Attempted to handball it to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Did he take the legs out of Ramsey? Won't matter. Collingwood force it forward. High bouncing thing out at centre. Elliott was great. Got around a couple of Bombers from 60. Shinned it towards full forward. Foot race on it between the big blokes. Socket off the ground there by Ambrose. Into the path of Collier. Poor handball that eluded Goddard. Did he give away a free kick? He did. Penderbury to take the free kick. 55-60 from home. Opening 40 seconds of the final term. The Collingwood captain looks at a crowded forward 50 area. He just kicks it to the top of the square. And the mark's almost taken by Cox. At ground level. Stacks on the mill. Umpire lets it go. And there's the whistle. We'll have a throw up. 15-20 out from the Collingwood goal.
Gee, they're gone back to Bagley on Elliott. I think he's out of form. Or they just changed it around then. No, it's Bagley again.
From the ball up. Adams lays a good tackle. Umpire will have to ball it up again. It's kind of set up for Pendlebury as well. Hasn't had a big day. But if he has a big last quarter and drags his team over the line, he'd almost be a contender for the Vic Supers. Leuenberger knocks it down. Side bottom to Grundy. Misses behind. Look good though. Collingwood again. Early stages of this final quarter. They don't have the lead, but you still sense they might actually be the team to be on. 67 plays 75. Bombers lead, 2 minutes gone, final quarter.
Goddard kicks to himself, runs 10, neat 20-metre short pass to Zach Merritt. Handballs to McGrath, bursts away from the congestion. Neat pass to Ambrose, back to McGrath. He's got Parrish alongside him. Handballs to that player. Handballs to Danaher. Has to kick awkwardly, but still got great yardage on it. And the mark is taken by Fantasia. Too strong, too clever for Ramsey. And directly in front, 30-35 out. Little Orazio will line up for number 4.
He calls himself Razzle Dazzle Beef, so
he's doing that today.
He's doing that today, and Danaher should have given off a handball. He didn't, but that long kick allowed for a one-on-one entry, and Fantasia just nudged him under the footy.
To the city end and to stretch the lead to 14 points. Crowd will tell the story. Fantasia dobs it. He's got 4.
Gave it to Ramsey too.
Yeah, gets involved with a bit of push and shove. And the Bombers at 12-9-81. First goal of the final term. Collingwood 9-13-67. It's on the KFC scoreboard.
Don't know whether you really want to nickname Razzle Dazzle, but you can always pay a price with a nickname like that. But I tell you what he's got. I don't know whether he's strong in the body or he's just a beautiful reader of play, because he's outbodied his opponent about 3 times, just getting the ball in flight and knowing where it's going to drop. No, he's a star of the future. There's no doubt about it. And he kicks beautifully.
And if he kicks 5 or maybe 6, he wins could possibly be the Anzac Day medalist, the way it's tracking at the moment.
Ball tossed in the air in the middle. Collingwood in trouble again. Momentum back with the Bombers. Little toe poke off the deck by Treloar, grabbed by Collier. Broke away, but Marco smothered his ball. Knocked it to Broomhead. Collingwood get the takeaway. Grundy and Mongrel. The chaos ball inside 50. The chaos ball could work. Elliott's got it. Snaps it around the body. And goal, no, just misses to the near side. Behind. 4 minutes gone. Final quarter brought to you by KFC. 12-9-81 to 9-14-68. Bombers lead.
Merritt with the quick kick in down the centre corridor to Watson. Spread it wide to Collier. 20-metre handball to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Threaded the needle. That was a great kick to Danaher. Parrish runs for him. Handballs to that player from 55. He kicks it to guess who? No, he couldn't get there. But I tell you who can. Josh Green. Josh Green kicks his 3rd, all in the second half. And the Bombers are out by 19 points. 13-9-87 as Green charges off the ground. Collingwood 9-14-68 on the KFC scoreboard.
Can I just say, Merritt's kick in there was as good as you'll ever see. It was a real risky one, but he's one of the best kicks in the game. He hit Watson in the corridor on the 50. It just opened up the whole play. And then Tip and Woody was on the boundary line. He's gone inboard again to Danaher, and they were just guarding territory, and they just got out the back for that Green goal. So that comes back to Merritt and how bold he was with that kicking. How they kicked that
I reckon they used to be sponsored by the TAC, weren't they? Essendon Speed Kills. Well, that's what's happening at the moment. Collier's just been a revelation the way he's used his speed.
Leuenberger gets the clearance for the Bombers. Tip and Woody picks it up. Oh, he goes for home from 60. This would be a ripper. Misses. Oohs and ahs at the MCG. Still a ton of time left in this, but it's the equal biggest margin of the game. 20 points Essendon's way.
And Collingwood almost run themselves into trouble through Howe, who eventually wobbles a kick almost towards centre wing. It runs away from Phillips, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of the umpire's race. Great Southern Stand side. Bombers 2 goals won to 2 behinds in the first 5.5 minutes of the final term. And as the pipe just told you, they're out by 20. Grundy wins the tap, but Watson will get there first. Going to ground, he handball to Stanton. Under pressure, handball to straight to Treloar, who handball to Pendlebury. Handball to Phillips. Clever kick inboard. Hits Fasolo on the chest. Handball to Varco when he didn't need to, who ran straight into Goddard. Eventually got it back to Grundy, though. He got a little kick forward to Treloar. Handball to Crisp. Handball for Fasolo, run down. Half threw it in the air. Umpire called play on. Heppel was going to sock it off the ground. He dives after it, so does Treloar. Leuenberger grabbed it. Quick handball to Watson. Paddled it forward towards Parrish. Grabbed there by Hoskin Elliott. He's had a dirty day. Slung in the tackle. Little kick forward, but only into the path of Kelly. The Bombers are out here. Parrish has got it. He'll loop a handball to Merritt. He's got Zaharakis inboard, where he kicked the winning goal from 8 years ago. His flying shot is out to the right and out of bounds on the full. Ooh. Free kick, left back pocket to Goldsack.
Had a target in the corridor. Joey Danaher just standing there. I think he might have gone back to past glories.
Yeah, he did, no doubt. Had a rush of blood. But right now, Collingwood are breaking strain. Cox on the ball now. Gets up and takes a good mark. He's at half-back flank, though, a long way from home.
Nathan Buckley swinging the changes. Hoskin Elliott's gone to half-back to play on. McDonald, Tip and Woody's had 7 disposals today. They need him in the game.
Oh, Bucks has got to push all of his chips into the middle of the table now. It's time to gamble from the wing. Ball thumped away towards Zaharakis, caught by Adams. Got a half handball stolen by Maynard. They'll go inside 50 here. Good kick. Low bomb. Got it to Greenwood. He thumps it in the Fazolo and Hurley direction, and Hurley got on the end of a pretty poor kick, really. Short pass to Kelly, and Kelly has it for the Bombers inside defensive 50, and he shows some poise short to McGrath. 88-68. Bombers by 20. Collingwood at breaking strain at the 8-minute mark of the last quarter.
There's the new breed. McGrath to Parrish, who kicked long. He was looking for Stanton or Fantasia, and in the middle of that Goldsack didn't attempt to mark it, went the double-fisted punch out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in on the centre wing. 20 points, the Bomber lead. Leuenberger wins it down to Collier. Snaps a kick back into the centre corridor, bounces over the head of Fantasia and also Ramsey. Back in the hands of Wells. Slipped as he kicked it. It'll wobble its way towards centre half forward. Charging out was Ben Reid, who almost took out. He did take out his own man in Maynard. Picked up by Zaharakis. Neat pass to Watson, who dropped the mark. Recovered though and spread it wide to Kelly, who marks on centre wing.
Oh, that's a kick and a half. There.
Short to Denner, he's almost within range. He loads up. He's on his left. He's 60 out. It's long. Is it strong enough? Goal line. Mark. Hooker's got it. And this is just about the knockout blow. 9 minutes gone. Final quarter. This, for the biggest margin of the game, 26 points. Oh.
What was that?
I'll let the boys explain it to you. But he was 12 metres out and he didn't want to drop punt it. He's kicked three.
What the hell's happened there?
Footy's changed, boys.
Oh, has a what?
He went to snap it, Dwayne, and he hit the wrong part of the ball, and he just snuck it in. It didn't snap it all.
You don't want to be harsh on Cale Hooker, but is this the best, worst game for 3 goals you've ever seen in your life? He has been very ordinary on a lot of occasions, but he's kicked 3 goals as a key forward.
Yeah, but they've just opened up this game again. You mentioned speed kills, Shorey. They've turned the game, say make the ground big, and that's what they've done. And Collingwood's lack of class and leg speed has hurt them late. Essendon come to the fore.
It's a bit like cricket. It doesn't say in the book just how many, and he's got 3 vital goals, but that was ugly. But still effective. Collingwood need the clearance, and they might get it through Broomhead. Pops a little one over the top to side bottom. They need to really get some momentum going now, the Pies. Side bottom to Pendlebury. Assesses his options. Kicks it to 20 metres out from goal. And Darcy Moore. That is a great contested grab directly in front, 20 out.
And Joe
Where's all the
Watson
Collingwood fans?
has just given Zaharakis the biggest mouthful of seeing Joe dish out in about 12 months, saying you had to go and you didn't go and you sat out. But well done, Darcy Moore. Great grab.
Well picked up, Lloydie. You're right. He had to put his body on the line, and then after he did that, he didn't tackle well either. So there's been some twists in this game, boys, and the Pies have been good later in quarter. So a goal here just puts some doubt in you.
There's enough time if they're good enough. Darcy Moore kicked a goal in the third to put him in front. He kicks a goal in the last to bring him back within 20. 10-14, 74 the Pies. Arguably the most famous score ever kicked on this ground. 14-10, 94 Essendon. And that is all on the KFC scoreboard. Ray White clock stops with 12:50 remaining in the final term.
A lot of time to go in this game. What I loved about that was Darcy Moore took that from the lateral. Normally just runs at the ball hard in a straight line, but he came across the pack as the 3rd or 4th man up. And to me, I'd love to see him do that a lot more. He's got to have more tricks in his game, and that was good to see.
A little bit of quiet here at the MCG.
Yeah.
Bomber fans who are up and about, back in their seats all of a sudden. 20 points the margin. Danaher in the ruck. Grundy beat him. Knocked it down. Wells, well, he could have gone for the ball. He went for the man. Watson picked it up. Gave it up just in time to Fantasia, who's in the middle now. Kicks it to half forward. Green's got it. Gave it to Merritt. Thought about giving it away and then dropped it. Ball in the congestion. Picked up by Howe. He robbles one towards the wing. Straight through Bagley's hands. Trouble now. Caught by Broomhead. He jumps over the top. Tries to knock it out. Reid knocks it out. Got it to Crisp. He can't get a kick on it. He had to handball it. Back to Bagley. Back to Merritt for the Bombers. Back to Watson for the Bombers. He kicks from the wing. And the mark to Goldsack at half back. 20 points to margin. Halfway through this final quarter. 12 gone, 12 left.
Goldsack looks inboard. Essendon have closed off most of the exits. So he roosted high down the line. Reid will be the target. He'll have to beat 3. McNeice came flying over the top the first gamer. And the ball is trapped underneath him and Taylor Adams. Was that a realistic marking attempt? Umpire Nichols says, give it to me. I'll throw it up right in front of the interchange.
I just saw Mark Bagley. He's had a shocking day at the office. Had to back into that pack then. You didn't want to go there. But he did.
Grundy wins the tap. Trelaw gathers. Handballs to Crisp. He hugs the line. It actually works out to be a spiral in the end. Greenwood does brilliantly. Charges through. Beats Mitch Brown. Tries to keep it in front of him. Kelly trying to save the day. Brown will get another go at it. Hemmed in on the boundary line. Handball to the prolific Merritt. Ball to boot quickly. Wobbles one back to centre wing. Francis has it thumped away from him by Goldsack. Goldsack with a second effort on Parrish. Ball falls to Danaher. High handball to Goddard and Maynard.
Gee.
Not sure whether either would want to see the replay.
Not a lot of Anzac spirit in that.
Picked up by Greenwood. Kick around the corner, but only as far as Merritt, and the Bombers will reload.
All right, who wants to get a bruise here? Ball in the middle. Heppel wants one. Almost marked it. Didn't get paid it. Now he gets cut some slack by the umpire for jumping on it.
Oh, boy.
The Pies have sent Ben Reid forward, so good to see Nathan Buckley try something here. I reckon Watson and Merritt are taking the game away from Collingwood. Which midfielder for the Pies is going to stand up here?
Trelaw tried to get a kick away. Heppel stole it. Gave it to Merritt. They get the take away from half back. Heads short to Green. Big leap. Jeremy Howe. Brilliant grab. He stood on his shoulder and took a contender. Well, that is the Robot Building Supplies mark of the day. No one will take a better one than that, maybe for the whole round. Short pass to the middle. Terrible kick. Wells made it look all right. Kicks it towards Fasolo. Dumped away by Hurley. Bombers get players back. Last line of defence. Brown had it. Gave it up just in time. Got the handball to Kelly. Got the handball back to Hurley. He's inside the defensive goal square. Can Crisp get there? Rolling ball just inside the boundary and he can't keep it alive. Ball in 60 from Collingwood's goal. And they trail by 20 with 10 minutes left.
Gee, Brendan Goddard's coming off the ground. I don't think there's a hole big enough at the moment, but who was the other Collingwood player? Well, they had a look at each other. They didn't want it, either of them.
It was Maynard from...
Oh, good on you, Beef.
Oh, no, you asked the question, sure.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's good. You've got to name him.
Parrish kicks around the corner. It's almost on centre wing. Goldsack fights it. We put it on the ground. Umpire said that was fair enough. Paddled to Maynard. A high kick to left half forward. Kelly and Adams meet front on.
This bloke's been a star.
Merritt, he is a superstar. He kicks it towards centre wing. 2-on-1 favour the Pies. If it gets to the back, the Bombers will be in. Unkind bounce though for Collier. Chance for Phillips. Got a handball to Ramsey. Flips a handball back to Hoskin Elliott. They need him to have a big final 10 minutes. Kicks out wide and Fasolo slides into the mark on a long lead.
Fasolo back inside to Phillips. Southern stand wing. Still enough time for the Magpies. It'd be one of the great victories if they get up from 26 down on Anzac Day in front of 90,000 plus. Their fans have been quiet for a long time in this game. Short chip kick back to Phillips. He's 80 from goal.
Got to take it on a bit now. You just play like this, you allow the defence to get numbers back.
9 minutes left. He goes inside 50. Reed's pushed forward. Got both hands on it but couldn't mark it. Hit the deck. Moore was there. Picked up by it. Well, Kelly got a touch on it. And Collier gets on the end of a short pass. Outside defensive 50. 94 to 74. 16 gone. Ray White clock. They've got the know-how. Final quarter.
In no hurry to move it on. Eventually pops a little one out wider to the skipper. Heppel as well. Takes a little bit of time off the clock. Then drop punts it down the line. Francis almost took the mark. Greenwood at the back got an unkind bounce. Did McDonald, Tip and Woody take his legs out? Umpire said no. Hoskin Elliott grabs it. Awkward left foot kick back to centre wing and Bagley sitting underneath it with courage. Didn't know what was coming. Took the mark. Goes sideways to Merritt. What's he up to for the Southern Star group half?
It's number 30.
And it's a handball to Hurley.
Howe.
Directs traffic and then kicks it straight to Jeremy Howe, who had no one to sit on. So he took an uncontested mark. Handball to Crisp. Drills one down the line. Looking for Elliott. And the debutant McNeice cuts in. And smashes it out of bounds for a throw in. 14-10-94 Essendon. 10-14-74 Collingwood. 16 and a half into the last.
Yeah, James Kelly, boys, I reckon his last quarter's shown. He's just a class act. You know he's coming to the end, but he's been really good in the back half.
Merritt fumbles a handball back to Parrish. Got it to Goddard. Kicks to the wing. Through hands. Ramsey nearly left it behind, and then he accidentally knocked it out. Ball in on the wing.
So I don't want to focus who's on Merritt here, because he's had about 10 in this last quarter, just doing what he wants. It's Adam Treloar. When the player's dominating, put an arm across and actually try and work off him, because he's doing it far too easy.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to sacrifice your game to stop the guy who's actually winning the game for them. Here's Treloar, gave it to Adams, tried to flick it back to Treloar, got it inside. Pendlebury got one too high. Umpire said no. Dr. Peter Larkin's on the boundary line.
Yeah, Joe Watson out of action for a few minutes again. That bleeding from the head's opened up again. They've ripped the headband off during play, so Bombers medical staff trying to get Joe back on.
Adams at ground level. He actually handballed through the legs of his skipper. Goddard goes to ground. Did he get a push in the back? Umpire said no. There's the whistle. And it's umpire Margetts who will throw it in the air about 70 metres out from the City end goal. Cox flips it down. Treloar with a handball to Pendlebury. Kicks it back to centre wing. The Pies attack the punt road end, but Bagley, he's had a good few minutes.
Kelly called him back.
Takes the mark and gets up cramping. And just on James Kelly, fortnight away from his 300th game. As Bagley, still limping, pops a little one sideways to Parrish, who marks right in front of the interchange gates.
Got the quarterback on their terms here, the Bombers. Plus 20 in possessions, plus 8 in uncontested marks.
Howe again goes up and pulls down another ripper. No one applauds because it's just standard for Jeremy Howe. Unlike cricket, Beef, it's not just about Howe, it's about how many, and he's had quite a few. He goes wide towards Hoskin Elliott, who has a bounce. McDonald Tipperwoody cuts him down. That could be the game winner.
Well, Lordy, I'll take it back. Leave him in the forward line when you do something like that. That is incredible.
Inside to Merritt, to Zaharakis, to Danaher. Got one to the ear. Play on. Kept it in front. 70 from goal. Kelly gets a piece of it. Back to Danaher. Trying to get a handball out. Drives one long from 50. It'll bring the house down. Essendon are home.
Gee, that was good play.
It's almost a Rewalt-esque game from Danaher. He's done it when he's needed, and that was big. 100 to 74 with 6 minutes left.
Chip and Woody, don't worry about Danaher. Just go back to that, because they were going to kick a goal up the other end, Collingwood, and that chase, you hit it on the head, Lloydie. That defensive pressure can win you games at any time, especially tight ones in finals. So well done to the youngster and well done to Danaher.
Yeah, I just feel like they've had the players when the game was up for grabs. I think Watson and Merritt have been absolutely massive in this last quarter. And then you've got the Tip and Woody chase and then the Danaher bomb from 50. I'm not sure who from Collingwood has really stood up in this last quarter.
It's been the same as the first term. To date, that is 4 goals to 1 in favour of the Bombers. They won't go forward again. Green went without it as he tried to scoop up the Heppel handball. Hoskin Elliott kicks it awkwardly back towards centre half forward. Bagley and Elliott slide in after it. They scrap on after it at ground level. Umpire doesn't blow the whistle yet. Squirts out to Adams. Handball to Phillips, who's been pretty good for the Pies. And the kick finds Wells, who might kick his third here. Closes, and from about 30 on a 60-degree angle, it's across the face. And a minor score. 10-15, 75 Collingwood. 15-10, 100 Essendon. And we've just ticked into time on to the last.
23 for Wells today on the Southern Star Group
He's
stats.
had a good game.
2 goals.
They're getting vocal now, the Essendon fans. We're not far away from the Essendon chant ringing around the MCG. They've had the bigger number of supporters. It is their home game. 87,685 here for Anzac Day. And it'll be the Bombers who will own it. 5 minutes left. Ball back into play. Treloar knocks it out away from Watson. It's on the wing. Watson got there first. Got it to Heppel. Dragged down. Wells a sidestep. Then he dropped it. Then he fumbled it. Then he knocked it. Then Varco went to ground. Towed off the deck by Adams. Got it to Hoskin Elliott. He rolls it to half forward. It'll roll out. And we'll get a ball in 48 from Collingwood's goal. But they trail with 5 minutes left on the clock in this final term. That's the Ray White clock. They've got the know-how. 100 plays 75.
Ball spinning back into play. As Dwayne just told you, Essendon fans in full voice now. They've got it again. Heppel with a handball to Goddard. Fumbled it straight back to Heppel. Kicks down to centre wing. Big one-on-one here. Hooker and also Goldsack. Ball falls to McDonald, Tipperwoody. Gets around Maynard. Then handballs back to Hooker. Another handball to Francis. Collingwood there in numbers. Side bottom's little handball was battered down by Francis, who fights on after it. Danaher there to lend a hand. Danaher's given away a free kick. And he realised it straight away. Holding side bottom without the football anywhere near him. Side bottom stubs his toe. Kicks it straight to Hooker. He's stuffed as well. He just kicks it down the line straight to Goldsack. Circles, great ball inboard and finds Varco.
Varco to Howe. He goes wide to Elliott. 4 minutes left on the clock. Final term, 25 points the margin. Elliott's 80 from goal. He needs a pass option. He centres it, looking for Big Mason through his hands. Crisp gathers the crumb, spins, kicks, launches, goals.
You sure?
19 points the margin. Yeah, the silence. I can't believe how few Collingwood supporters are here. 4 minutes left.
They were.
And 4 goals the margin in essence, 100 to 81, 19 points.
Cale Hooker, he had the ball, he just had to show some poise. He just slammed that ball on the boot, and it's lucky it's not a closer game because they had that ball in their control, and he's just blasted it forward. But still waiting to see which Collingwood player. You look at the X factor for Essendon. You've got Fantasia, X factor, Tipperwoody, X factor, Merritt has that X factor, Danaher has it. But with Collingwood,
no speed at all.
Yeah, they don't, and they've averaged 75 points a game for 5 weeks, and they're at 81 now. So that's why Elliott's about all they've got in terms of that X factor, and occasionally Treloar.
Back in the centre, and Watson's run down by Treloar, didn't get his kick away. Varco socketed forward. McGrath lost it in transit. Varco fights on, paddled it forward, but only as far as McNeese. Handball to McGrath, handball to Zaharakis. Better pressure there from the Pies through Elliott. Mitch Brown gathers. Handball to Bagley. Knew he was under pressure. Ball to boot quickly. And it's thumped out of bounds by Pendlebury, rising over the top of his opposite number in Heppel. And we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward. Southern stand side favouring the end. The Pies kicking this final term, which is the punt road end.
Ruckman tie up. Leuenberger half a knuckle on it. Grundy squeezed a kick away. Shade gets on the end of it. Hands it up just in time. Hoskin Elliott, an ugly kick to half forward. Rolls through traffic. Bagley slips and then he's jumped on. Almost gave away a free kick and almost got one. Brown kicks it outside defensive 50. It'll probably be coming back. Elliott dropped it. Treloar. It's coming back. Mark's been paid. Kick inside towards Varco. He's 90 from goal. Gives it up to Howe. He's 55 out. Wobbles one. Hurley gets back. Dumps it through. And it's exactly 3 kicks the margin. 3 goals, 3 minutes, 18 points, and 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining to be precise. Final quarter.
Bombers just need to be composed. Hurley kicks to himself. Trots away about 5 metres. 55-metre drop punt. I think that might have been a falcon off the head of Fantasia. As then Goddard slides over the line with the footy. And we'll have a throw in 65 around from the Collingwood goal. 100 to 82. Crowd of 87,500 in for the Anzac Day clash. Leuenberger wins it down to Parrish. Lovely handball, great vision, gives it to Brown. Handball's back to McGrath, and he has got class written all over him. Gets out of trouble and then delivers precisely to Goddard. Goddard, lovely kick as well through the hands of McDonald, Tipperwoody. Centre wing. Collingwood to reload through Crisp. Handballs to Treloar. Handballs back to Chris. Danaher was closing quickly. Clever by Grundy. Paddled it forward to Treloar. He's going to want to try and get around Brown. Knew he couldn't. Kicked it forward and straight into the waiting arms of Bagley, who saves the day in the last line.
Yeah, had they got a goal then, Collingwood, it would have been 2 goals at 2 minutes left. Big Essendon crowd in here. MCG. Oh, chip back to Hurley. Last line of defence, and he chips it back again to Zaharakis. More time off the clock. Inside 2 minutes now to full time. Essendon chant starts ringing around the MCG. The fans know how long left. Ball knocked towards the boundary. Fantasia, well, he kicked it off the deck, kept it alive. Got it inside towards Maynard though. Green hunts him down. Southern stand wing. He kicks a mongrel inside to McDonald. Tipperwoody couldn't get there. And the mark's taken by Jeremy Howe on the slide at half back.
Howe goes lateral to Shade. He'll be confronted by Goddard, so he kicks quickly. And it's a good kick as well. Elliott a mark on his
Great
chest,
running.
just forward to centre wing. 80 seconds remaining. A miracle from here. Turns it over in the centre of the ground. No, Treloar fights on after it and handballs it back wildly towards Elliott, who gathers it now. But they're out of time, and Elliott's almost out of energy as well. Elliott handball. He is. He fell over through fatigue. You can't blame him, only his second game in 18 months. He trots off as he watches Fantasia paddle it forward and try and get past Maynard. Maynard's got the bigger body. They fight on after it, close to the line. Maynard doesn't want to push it out. He goes to ground as well. Side bottom's wrapped up in a tackle. They are all out of gas. It's now in the hands of Treloar. Down the line, looking for Wells, but Hurley almost paid the mark for effort. Umpire Margett says no, throw it in. Centre wing, right in front. Maybe the Doc's already headed to the rooms. So instead I'll throw to Dwayne Russell.
40 seconds left. Two stories today. What's the future for Collingwood and Nathan Buckley? And can the Bombers still make the finals this year, really? They're in the 8 after this win tonight. From the half-forward ball, Hurley knocks it on. Wells gets it on the end of it. Gave it to Darcy Moore. Kicks inside 50, although Zaharakis will mark it. 20 seconds left. But he could take the last 20 off the clock. Heads wide to Merritt. 13 seconds left. Bomber fans about to roar. Goes back again to Brown. Wait for it. Here it is. Big win to the Bombers. 100 to 82.
Essendon led at every change. They were headed in the third term, but it was 19 points at the first break, 3 at the main change, 9 at three-quarter time, and they kicked 4-1 to 2 goals 4 in the final term to run out winners 15-10 100 to 11-16 82. Courtesy of Channel 7, let's go down to Tim Watson, who's interviewing his son.
Collingwood challenged us today, and I thought the young guys stood up, and it was a good win.
It was a massive last quarter from the Bombers, though, too, to just raise it to another level.
Yeah, I thought our contest work sort of picked up in that last bit, and we probably let them back in the game in that second quarter. But they're a good side, so you're always going to have tussles in the game, and sometimes you just got to grind it out and just will yourself to win the game.
And do you think the team can build on this as well? I mean, it's probably the best win for the year so far.
Yeah, look, I think we'll be playing better footy as a group in the second half of the year, just because of the circumstances. But you still got to keep improving, and we've got to keep working and getting better. Well done. Thank you.
Tim Watson interviewing Joe Watson. That audio courtesy of Channel 7 soon after the final siren, with the Bombers improving to 3-2, and they join Port Adelaide, West Coast and Fremantle on that win-loss ratio. The Magpies slump to 1-4, 15-10 100 to 11-16 82.
Yeah, Beaver, I really enjoyed the game, but just felt like the better side won. They deserved this 18-point victory. They just made the most of their chances. Really, 15 goals 10 to 11 goals 16. You just thought some of the misses that Collingwood had, their lack of winners inside forward 50, apart from really Jamie Elliott, Hurley just beat Fasolo hands down. Mason Cox didn't have a great game. Darcy Moore, kicked a couple of goals, but Ambrose put a blanket right on top of him. So really, just thought Essendon players just so much more even throughout the team. I thought obviously Merritt and Watson were stars. I just thought Hurley 25 disposals on Fasolo, who's had 12. So just a dominant display. And then the likes of Fantasia kicking 4 goals down to the presentation.
And Craig Willis.
The Victorian Return and Services League, Dr. Robert Webster OAM, to present the Anzac Day medal to the player whose conduct and play during the game best exemplify the Anzac spirit, that of skill, courage in adversity, self-sacrifice, teamwork and fair play. And the Anzac Day medalist is Joe Danaher of the Essendon Football Club.
3 goals 4 and plenty of possessions around the ground as well for the big number 6.
Just a quick thank you to the Collingwood Football Club. It's always a special day on the calendar to be able to play on this great day. To our boys, a really proud effort, and hopefully a good stepping stone going forward. And a big thanks to the AFL again for putting on such a great day. Thank you.
Now going to invite the captain of the Essendon Football Club, Dyson Heppel, and coach John Worsfold to come forward to receive the Anzac Day trophy from Dr. Robert Webster. This is a perpetual trophy provided by the RSL in dedication to the memory of those footballers who served in times of war. The names of every VFL footballer known to have sacrificed their lives during active service are inscribed on the trophy. Let's welcome Dyson and John to come forward to accept the trophy.
Now, Dyson Heppel, his first year as skipper. And John Worsfold, his second year as coach, but with a much better list to work with.
First of all, fantastic job, boys. Excellent fight today. Commiserations to Collingwood. Put in the great effort. It was a hard slog for the day. Massive thank you for the crowd. Another enormous turnout. Well done, Bomber fans. And lastly, it's a very special day, so thanks to all our defence personnel who have fought for our country in the past. So an outstanding day, great honour to play on this day. Well done, Bombers. Cheers.
Once again, well done to Essendon. Ladies and gentlemen, that completes formalities. Anzac Day at the MCG. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig Willis, our Master of Ceremonies, down at ground level. Bang on 6 o'clock.